Hello, Mega.
Hey Lucinda, how are you?
Good. How about you?
I'm you don't sound so good. I'm good. I'm good. You must be exhausted by all of this, right?
Oh my goodness. It's only the third Zoom in the last 2 days,
Today.
and without technical difficulty. You're here, so that's a good sign. Very, very good sign.
Yeah.
You have been very, very busy. Oh my
Uh,
gosh, very busy. So how are you doing? How are you keeping up?
I'm good. I'm good. As you know, I just got back from New Orleans.
Oh,
Yeah, I was there for like the family vacation for 4 5 days. My
oh
son
wow.
had like a spring break, and it was
Okay.
first formal vacation after like COVID. We took a flight and all of that. Almost like 2.5 years or so.
And so you, I mean, did you get a chance to see the festival at all, the poetry
No,
festival?
no. I got back on 20th. So
Okay,
I didn't know that there was going to be a festival in New Orleans. So Dr. Kim invited me. She said that she's going to be doing the New Orleans Festival, but
hmm,
then I got the invite while I was there. So by
okay.
that time, I had like booked the tickets back and everything was done. So
Hi, Aldon. How are you?
Lucinda, I'm just going to adjust the drapes of
I'm
my
doing
back.
fine, thank you.
Good, good, good. We're glad that you were able to make it. Um, I, I am Lucinda Clark, and so I am letting everyone in.
Sure.
I just spoke to Leah, and they are on the ground in New Orleans, and so she's adjusting the Wi-Fi and getting everything ready.
Okay. I was
Yeah,
wondering, I thought I was going to be seeing Leah, but
yeah.
but I want to congratulate you. You pronounced my name correctly, and most people don't.
As they say, we try and work on it. We
I
really do.
appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, do you know Mega?
We've never met, but hi, Megan.
Hi, Aldon.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's going to be several of us on the line, and I received an email from the festival saying that there's another Zoom link. But what we're going to do is we're just going to stream it to Facebook and let them pick it up because they gave us this link like 4 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
The
but
only thing I'm worried about it, once you sign into this link, they get the normal confirmation of that only registered users need to get in, and some of the people they don't do it. They think that they got the wrong link and they sign out.
okay, okay, all
So
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
it's been a little confusing.
yeah, that happens a lot, and yeah, I've been using Zoom a lot for the last 2 years, so I know this is
Yeah, we
the
all have. Yeah,
yeah
and I've put on a couple of poetry readings and webinars too,
yeah
Yeah,
um, but not everybody's used to all this, you know.
yeah,
confusing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then you all have just described my morning.
Now, where are you located, Lucinda?
I'm in Augusta, Georgia.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah. We had the quarterly meeting of the Georgia Poetry Society,
oh,
and yeah. So as one of the officers, I came in and I found out maybe 10 minutes in I'm doing the open mic, and then right. And then so I'm like, okay, so where's the list of the participants? And it was like the people were typing, I think I want to read. Don't call on me. I was just like, okay.
no, I've never done that. That's wild. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But this is why we put it under our Zoom, because we thought that the same thing would happen with the festival, because they've had so many events. This has been going on since April 16th.
Right, right.
Yeah, so that's a long time to be zooming out.
Lucinda,
So
does New Orleans also have their poet laureate, or no? Only the state of Louisiana has theirs.
you say poet laureate?
Yeah,
Yes, actually, Mona Lisa Saloy is I think she's the first poet laureate for the state.
for the state.
No.
Now,
Not
Oh,
state.
I think Pinky Gordon Lane was before her. I don't know who the first one was,
Okay.
but yeah, I've known Mona Lisa for 30 years, but I haven't seen her for so long. It'd be nice to see her again.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm an alum from Dillard University, so
Oh.
it's been, yeah, I'm just thrilled, over the moon. I remember Jericho Brown actually spent some time there too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and my dear friend Jerry Ward spent his last teaching years at Dillard,
Oh man, he's phenomenal.
isn't he? Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I saw a program he did with it. Was it two languages, one community,
Hmm.
where he was working with a woman who they're translating poems from English to Chinese.
Right. Yeah. Well, in fact, Jerry's the one who got me involved teaching in China. I taught there maybe 8 summers in a row.
Wow.
And that all happened through a connection Jerry had.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, I first met Jerry. I hope the other people are going to find their way into this link. I first
They're coming.
I first met Jerry. I'm from DC, and he was there for a year back in the 80s. There's Tony. And
Coming in now.
yeah, Jerry read my dissertation and encouraged me to get it published, and that means a lot when you're just starting out in life.
Yeah. Well, hi, Tony, Bolden. Can you see us?
I can see you. Can you all see me?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Hi, Lucinda. How you been?
I've been well. I don't know if you remember back, it's so far back, the Dillard years. Do you remember?
Of course. I mean, I was going to tell everybody I went to school with you.
I was gonna
How could I ever forget? You were, but you always one of the sharpest people on the yard. How could I ever forget that?
Oh, no, the California
and definitely one of the, see, you were cool and sharp. We had the people who never got B's. They don't know nothing about that. We had people who got no B's. Then we had the street people, right? But then we had people like you who had, you had all of that, right? You had the whole vibe. Right. So of course I remember you. How could I not,
Yeah, because I definitely remember you, because it was California cool. You see, he didn't mention that. There was the California cool kids who walk the yard. And so it's really good to see you. I'm just ecstatic that you're here today. Thanks for coming out.
You
Yeah,
too.
this is gonna be fun. So,
You beat me. I was going to say I knew Tony when he had long hair.
Yeah, I used to actually have locks. After Dillard, I grew locks. So
and I used to have hair.
yeah, we see you there, Miss Kim. How are you?
Hi, I couldn't get in because they wanted an email and all that other stuff, but I finally got
right.
in.
Yeah, I was like, what?
An email, really?
Well, yeah, what happened, at the beginning, we weren't sure what to do. And so Kim suggested we just go ahead and register for the thing. So I did.
Okay.
And then Leah sent us a link today.
Okay.
When you click on that link, it gives you the same thing you fill out when you register, except at the bottom, it says join meeting in progress. So I guess it takes us directly to this instead of something else. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting, because I have all of your names that you registered.
Right.
Yeah, so that's interesting. But I have my little trusty side computer here. Maybe I need to facilitate everyone getting in. That's interesting. Because only
You might have to, because I'm not sure what will come up. Maybe that was just for us. So.
I'm not sure what happens if people who just did the general registration are just clicking on that link as opposed to but Leah told us she was going to send us all a link today, and that's the one that brings you here. So if everybody responds to Leah's email, we should all wind up in this same place.
Right, and that's the link that's through our Zoom. So well, anyway, I spoke too soon about technical difficulties, huh?
We still got 5 minutes.
Yeah, let me pull this up here.
Tony's making me want to go get a better hat.
Hold on, let me go in here and see what's going on. Okay. Okay, let's see.
Can we just invite the people? Like if we
Yeah.
have their emails, can we just put the invite on and just invite them to show up? Do you think that would work?
Let's see. I'm pulling this up and seeing what's going on, because all of you are already in the you've been invited, so there shouldn't have been any different.
No, the different, well, maybe it's the same where you send out the invite to them, but it might be the same thing. Oh, and I wanted to get everyone's, how they can get your books. So I have the links for Aldon's books, but I wanted, if you have any links for your books, and you wanted to basically showcase your books, I wanted to make sure we could make that happen.
Where you want us to share the link, Dr. Kim, on the chat? Like in the
Yeah,
chat,
if we
you
could put a link on the chat to where people can purchase your work, that would be really good. And I'll put a link on the chat where they can purchase, get a 30% off of Blackfire this time. I mean, not 30% off, but 50% off.
So nice to see you, Dr. Kim, again.
Oh, I didn't hear it. What did you say, Mega?
I said it's so nice to see you again after the Black.
Oh, it's nice seeing you too. It's nice seeing you. Well, the good thing is, no matter what, if we even have mix-ups, that that it can go on Facebook, and then people can just watch it, you know, at their leisure.
Well, what I'm doing now is I'm resending the confirmation, and people are coming in now. So I've just admitted, let's see, Tarita.
Yeah, but she's.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. Okay. I see. Well, I don't know, but I'm resending it so they can just click right here.
That sounds really nice.
Okay. Where are we? We've got 2 minutes. Okay. So, wait. Send that. Okay. Send that. Yeah, you're here, and Kim, you're already here. Okay, so everybody's been resent the confirmation that should bring them here. And so.
But it also said you had to have a Zoom account
Yes, you do have to have a Zoom account.
in order to get in. So I was wondering, is there any way to get rid of that?
Yeah, hold on.
Because a lot of people don't have a Zoom account.
Yeah, and I have one, and I found it difficult trying to get in. It just
Okay. Meeting passcode. All right, I'm gonna change a couple of things here, see what happens. Because it looks like everybody's able to get in now. Okay, passcodes to thing, so we should be okay.
Lucinda, is anyone putting the reading order in the chat?
Yeah. This is Leah here. Okay, Kim, if you want to get the order, hold on.
Okay, well, the order I was going to use, and if there's any issues, let me know. This is the order. My computer's working really weird. So here's the order I thought I would do. Tony, Judy, Tarita, Aldon. Wait, Tony, Judy, Tarita, Aldon, and Mecca. But you're. Is that okay? Would anyone like to change the order or go at a different time? I'm fine with that if you like.
I'm good.
I'm fine, yeah.
Oh,
I stopped
okay.
worrying about that 30 years ago.
No,
Well,
yeah,
for some, yeah.
whatever
I
you
just
all
wanted
want to
to
do is
that,
fine
okay.
with me, but here's the question. So are we to put our links to the book in the
Yeah,
chat?
if you have any links to your books
Okay.
or your art or anything that you want to do,
Okay,
place it in the chat so people can see it.
okay.
I'm reading after Aldon. Okay.
Lucinda looks like she's taking a picture of us.
Oh, she is?
No, she was holding up her phone. It just looked like that.
Oh, okay.
No, actually, I just heard from Leah. She said that she was having some technical difficulties there on the ground.
Oh,
And
dear.
so we are actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait, I have to turn my phone down. But we are actually in pretty good shape. I actually resent the code to all the other participants. It's 5:01, and so we're going to get started.
Oh, sure. Now,
Yeah,
everyone, is everyone here?
There are maybe 2 other people missing.
Oh, okay. Who's missing? Tony's here. Judy, are you here? So Judy's missing?
Yes.
Tarita's here, Aldon's here, and Mecca's here. So the
That's
only person missing is Judy Juanita.
Exactly.
So if we all stick to our 5 minutes, that should work if Judy comes
Yeah,
in.
well, how about we change it around? We make Judy last, so she
Yeah.
doesn't have to feel like she's in a hurry, when she gets here. And
Sure.
and Mega, can we put Judy in your place?
Yeah.
I mean, can we put you in Judy's place?
Yeah, I got it. So you want me to go after Tony?
Right, you'll go after Tony. And Judy's never late for anything, so that just tells me she's having a hard time getting in.
Okay.
I'm calling her now or sending a text.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, I just wrote the reading order in the chat.
Oh, and Mega, while we're waiting, would you mind, because you posted it a lot of places, putting a note saying we're going to start within the next 5 minutes?
Yeah, I posted it, but it was 10 minutes ago. I can do it again.
Oh, okay, it was 10 minutes ago. Oh, just one more time. Thanks.
But
I'm
we're
sorry.
just at 2:03 right now, and it starts at 2 Pacific time. So
So we're not
Should be
doing
okay.
badly.
We're
No.
actually early for poets.
yes, thank you.
There's a lot of truth into that. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah.
So
We
the
are
order
actually
now
early.
is the second list: Tony, Mega, Tarita, me, and then Judy. Right?
Yeah, that's the
Gotcha.
final.
so Judy is final.
Great.
And Heather was supposed to be here too. I bet she can't get in either.
Oh, Heather was joining us?
Oh yeah, Heather was gonna come, but I don't know. Oh, let us know when you're ready. Let me know when you're ready to start.
Well, the other thing that's confusing is usually these things, it's webinar style, and we're all speakers, and then there are participants who are viewers. Lucinda said something about Facebook. Is there an audience seeing this somewhere other than the recording that we'll be making?
Lucinda, Leah's in charge of that, and it
Right.
sounded like she's having some trouble.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
so
Yes.
we kind of have to wait and see. Well,
No,
can
we're
you
gonna
get-
go. We're gonna go right now.
so we actually can go right now?
Yeah, because actually the Zoom is contained here. And so we have control, it's being recorded and we can stream. And so, they're handling some things there on the ground. They'll bring pictures and we will put it all together when it's all done.
Okay, so then I'll start the program.
Okay.
Yeah, I posted it right now. I'm gonna go on mute.
Yes,
Okay, great.
And people will be able to see it later, is what you're saying, right?
yes.
Okay.
yes.
Okay, so let's start then.
Yeah, I'm going to mute until it's my turn.
Okay, sounds good. Hi, my name is Kim McMillan, and I'm the editor of Blackfire This Time, published by Willow Books. And I want to welcome you to our participation in the New Orleans Poetry Festival. I'm so glad to be here with my co-host, Lucinda Clark, and the wonderful poets from Tony Bolden, Mega Sood, Tarita McKill, Aldon Nielsen, and Judy Juanita. And we're just all here, and it's a beautiful day, and we're just so excited to start this off. So we're going to start off the program with the wonderful Tony Bolden reading his work in the anthology Black Fire This Time. Tony is an associate professor of African and African American Studies at the University of Kansas. He also is teaching and does research work on African American music, African American literature, and cultural studies. I'd like everyone to give a warm welcome to Tony Bolden.
Oh, thank you for your work, Kim. I'm full
Thank you.
professor now. So
Congratulations. That's
All right.
wonderful.
okay. So the poem I'm going to read today that's included in the collection is titled Blues People, and that title is taken from Amiri Baraka's great book of the same name, Blues People. Blues is Black folks' literature, memory stored on a pentatonic scale, cultural philosophy distilled in song, the low-end theory, Black thought embodied in body talk, like James Brown's Camel Walk, the cakewalk and crip walk, slow drag rhythm, and holy profane, the shimmy shake whipped to a jelly, cold duck and hucklebuck, the dog catcher, or take the moon walk, like down memory lane. Bill Bailey bopped a backslide in dope stage exits a decade before the king of pop was born. And Verta Mae Grosvenor spacewalked into the future of a three-sided dream, astral traveling through galaxies on a sunship with Sun Ra when Michael Jackson played bongos on an oatmeal box in Gary. Blues lingo, a tale told in pitch, swivel hips and harmonies, historiography composed in Vance, runs in E flat, lexicon like Dogon, the funky frequencies of falsetto. Imagine 5 generations crammed into a bass line, tone colors like bright Mississippi, encircled inside golden bells of a home, talk box, or the Kansas City two-step, roughneck rhythms in a riff, jumping at the woodside like jitterbugs and confirmation, configurations of Black soundscapes, sampled from half notes and 5/4 themes, fine and mellow as Billie Holiday's White Gardenia, yet tragic as a heroin needle. Holiday's life was a broken blues record, her voice scarred like 6 strings of a bottleneck guitar, 12 bars of pain, picked and strummed over misogyny and bruises in the land of Jim Crow. Good morning, heartache. Here we go again at the Savoy Ballroom, Battle of the Bands in 1937, the Lindy Hoppers spinning like tops, jamming in midair like a Ella Fitzgerald scat solo. She's singing to beat the band, a blues chorus of staccato swing, vocal percussion of old school freestyle, straight, no chaser, right off the top of the dome, a rhyme scheme of dance moves written inside a drum, like a wang bang doodle, all night long.
did you have anything else, a short poem to read, or is that what you're planning to read? It's beautiful, by the way. Absolutely beautiful.
That's it. You said
Okay.
5 minutes.
Okay, well, Tony, thank you. Uh, Your poem has a musicality to it that is just beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And our next poet is Mega Sood. She is a Pushcart nominated award-winning poet, editor, author, and literary activist based in New Jersey, USA. She is an associate poetry editor at, I love the name of this, it's in the United Kingdom, Mookie Chick. I love you to give a warm welcome to Mega. Hi, Mega.
Hi, Dr. Kim. Thanks so much for the generous introduction. Um, I'm going to be reading two poems. One of it is a part of the anthology, and the first one is called Asphyxiated, and it's inspired by the death of the people who were killed in the Grenfell Tower fire in 2017. And the survivors of Grenfell are still awaiting justice while the official inquiry refuses to recognize the systemic racism of social inequality and institutional response as contributing to the disaster. So the poem is called Asphyxiated. They say eyes are the window to the soul, yet yours are shut tight, saturated with injustice and discrimination, birthing around you in every passing moment, the raging flames engulfing the last sliver of hope, of light, of love, sucking out from every single soul holding on to their loved ones in that fateful tower that day. They say an artist takes in the beauty through their eyes, and yet yours are closed, overwhelmed with the injustice, the rage inequality, hoping of the day, the perfect utopia, where everyone is blessed with the basic privilege to live, to love, to breathe. They say eyes are the embodiment of the soul, a metaphor for the muted language spoken between the souls, and yet yours are closed shut, averting the view from all the hunger and greed burning and leaving, the stench of devouring flames, a putrid stench of indifference towards your life. They say, take in the world through all your senses, and yet you divide yourself from this ethereal experience as your world burns down from inside, screaming and whelping. The injustice leaves welts and blisters on your separating skin. When the empty words shower like the scarring acid rain on your open wounds, you scream, you wail in the hollow nights, hoping for a single soul to lend their ear, to hear you screaming, I can't breathe. And the next one is called Peace. Thank you so much. Peace, a metaphor for denial. And this was the national level winner of the Poetry Matters project in the year 2020. Peace, a metaphor for denial. Peace, an act of ignorance, an act of denial, is not bliss, no more. When silence is gutted like a fish and the blood of your own fills the street. How long can you be the puppet in your own peaceful country? This act of abandonment speaks a muted language for all the hearts trapped like sparrows on the other side of the town. The wall creates a boundary between me and humanity. They're still considered illegal with one foot in my land, another bloodied and stuck in the barbed wire that are put around God's own country. I was born with the privilege to call the piece of earth my own, no matter it is laced and seeped with someone else's blood. It belongs to me now. The young boy is shot. The pavement is stained by the color of his blood, dark and useless to the people of this peaceful country. Those who pull out the armrest and the beach chairs to see the stars lit up the sky and the deafening noise muting the wails of a widowed mother. They sip the beer as cold as their souls, leaving the scene with a shrug and a short sigh. Ignorance is bliss. Peace is a metaphor for denial in this country I call mine. That's it.
Wow, it's amazing. I just want to thank every single poet here today is a gem. And I'm just grateful that you all are here. And I hope the noise here isn't too much. I just thought it would be less noisy outside. And I went outside, but I'm not so sure. But anyway, we'll go on. And this is a wonderful poet speaking next, Jarita McKill. Uh, she's named the story medicine woman, and there is reason for that. Jarita has published 72 at-risk classroom student anthologies. She was featured at Soul of a Nation at the De Young Museum in San Francisco. She is, she's also was a delegate in poet storytelling delegate in Beijing, China. So, you know, what I have to say, this is a group of poets that have really traveled, and their voices represent so many different parts of the world. I feel very lucky to have them in the book Black Fire this time. I'd like you all to give a warm welcome to Tarita. Hi, Tarita. Tarita,
Hi, how are you, Kim?
just
Thanks so much for that. Excuse me? Oh, okay.
I said I'm happy to see you. Very happy to see you.
Oh, okay. Let me, okay. There. All right. I am thankful to be here and to have this level of work in the book, because we have dimensions to ourselves, and I'm just sharing experiences. If I hadn't run in circles when 3 years old on fields of grass with blackbird chasing me or me chasing it, if I hadn't remembered recurring dream at 7 years of age, swallowing small stones, choking under bright sky in front of a long dark tunnel holding pinpoint light, if my body hadn't heaved and cried that day in 1989, recalling what happened 17 years prior with a chemistry professor who said I could not use the problem-solving methods of Africans with whom I had studied because they were going back to Africa, I was not. If I hadn't learned PTSD and PTSS are body's cognitive abilities to understand remembered pain. If I hadn't experienced migraines while studying for 3 exams, looking for subjects' connectedness with a circle, reading a book given me titled Moon 2, and find a quote that read, "For the African to disengage one subject from life's circle would paralyze the rest," and have migraines disappear shortly thereafter. If I hadn't been haunted by small globular lights of Van Allen belts, solid gold line purple spheres amassing iridescent lights that would suddenly appear, and learn interdimensional beings do exist. If I hadn't been awakened from by a tiger watching me calmly in a dream, heard a spirit come down the roof through the ceiling and feel its weighted impression sit next to me. If I hadn't called and talked to a Zen Buddhist priest for 2 hours who assured me I was not going mad, nor had I committed a sin, but was merely entering my enlightenment. If I hadn't had my chart calculated 5 times, aligning on earth as it is in heaven, interpreting my idea of an active noun-verb agreement system. If I hadn't recognized while studying organic and inorganic chemistry that iron is not only commonly found in the body, but throughout the universe, causing life to be pulled or repelled in some way. If I hadn't witnessed a slug-sized lip suctioning leech undulate around a relative's head as though looking for a place to land. And when it did, weeks later, relative could not lift her head. And if I hadn't suggested she see a Chinese acupuncturist who said at the end of the examination, it is as though something has sucked the life force from her head, which left me questioning, what did I see? If I hadn't read in the book, The Archaeology of Knowledge, we must also ascribe to the institutional sites from which the doctor makes his discourse. If I hadn't worked in a mental institution as a lab tech and learned the difference between a psychic and a sick psychic. If I hadn't heard the birds' crying song while napping, unable to discern how I knew their cry, only to get up, open the door and see birds fluttering wildly over lifeless friend adored. If I hadn't heard a helicopter in Oakland fly over my house, drop something on the house at the corner that sounded like a loud swoosh on May 13th, 1985, around 2 a.m. on the West Coast. And if I hadn't read the newspaper later that morning that a helicopter had dropped a bomb on the MOVE organization's house at the corner of Osage and Pine in Philadelphia around 5 a.m. on the East Coast, and noticed a 3-hour time difference. If I hadn't felt a patient's medication on his right eye, as if a web on my left eye, and associated molecular isomers, mirroring molecules. If I hadn't seen rainbows near sun and clear skies as if to illume answers of question to insight, if I hadn't been pulled outside to bow my head, point to the vastness of the sky, and at the tip of my finger, see a shooting star arrive, if I hadn't awakened abruptly from sleep to see Isis, the Greeks call Sirius, watch over me, or heard a voice say, you have fidelity in the law and it will be used as your trench. I might not have learned that the Dogons of West Africa once every 50 years parade the reflection of star Ahmad B around A, wear headdresses that resemble telephone poles because their eyes have not been corrupted. I may not have recognized my ancestors saying I come from mystics who believe in hearing the inaudible, touching the intangible, and seeing the invisible. Thank you.
Thank you for that powerful poem and that powerful reading. I feel just so much gratitude to be here with such beautiful poets. Thank you. This is amazing. You know, that's all I can say. The words amazing come to mind. And now another poet that is just, I've learned so much from Aldon about poetry. Aldon Lynn Nielsen is a poet and a scholar. He is the George and Barbara Kelly Professor of American Literature at the Pennsylvania State University. He was the first recipient of the Larry Neal Award for Poetry and has since received the Samla Studies Prize, the Josephine Miles Award, the Darwin Turner Award, the Caden Prize. In other words, he's been awarded. And what I love about this poem that Aldon's going to read is it gives us a glimpse of Amiri Baraka, a true genius. And of course, with Larry Neal, the editors of Black Fire, published in 1968. Please give a warm welcome to Aldon.
Thank you very much. I'm going to read two poems. They're both dedicated to men who are my teachers in my student days, which I shudder to confess were more than 4 decades ago now. This first one is in the anthology that Kim has been working on so hard for so long. I can't wait to read my copy of it. I actually have still my copy of Black Fire that I bought when I was, 18 years old, autographed by Amiri. I was so stupid. I didn't get Larry Neal to autograph it too. There can't be very many copies with both of them. But anyway, so this first poem is simply titled In a Class with Baraka. In the end, then, to a room half hangs outside the hall, trashed, overheated, pupils smart, ashes add up under chairs, motes streaming cling to blinking lids. An odor of investment accrues to this room. English beats against the glass, shadowing through the panes upon the table, obstructing paths of passing planes. The capital's accumulation of images in the mute wavering grain is something we dissect, practicing between ourselves the removal of harmful forms. Head at the window, scarring the glass, meaning glazes over the watching White House, beating back American artist in residence in the new Department of Corrections, planes the blades of our speech, asks examples. Mine is of a piece with a room at an end that hangs outside in essential popular air. Mine is of a flight that exclaims, fingers against the glass, I check my watch, prepare to give examples. And the second one from my undergraduate days, even farther in the past. All the places we've been, a prayer for Gil Scott-Heron. Take me to the pilot played on the radio, but we didn't know you in our first class. Gloves out at fingertips, braids beneath leather cap, busied yourself, then busied us. Busy as you were, the Fender Rhodes Scholar of Bluesology was to be our pilot who the cap fit. That first minute of that winter day when nobody knew what to say, we were to be riders on the storm. Time was right up on us. Time was tight. The now that was more than ever was what brought us together. Federal cities, ungranted land housed our unmitigated band. We were the unruled unruly. We thought we'd call it morning, that storm music. No small talk at Second and E. Did you hear what they said back home? A toast to the people, ain't no new thing. From South Africa to South Carolina, we wrote, and writing rose within our souls. We couldn't know, watching your hands spider across the keys, how you were to end. How drift away was to be your closing number. Precious Lord, take his hand. Thank you.
Beautiful. And it's just beautiful. And the thing is, if you see a poet that you want to go and listen to, please do it. I remember Gil Scott-Heron was at San Francisco State all the time. And I thought, oh, I can go see him next week or he'll be back. But time flies and you miss something that's quite beautiful. And to have, they had the opportunity to write about such knowing figures of this nature and writing about them is really a real blessing and just beautiful work. Our last poet is the incomparable Judy Juanita. Judy has an amazing background as a, I don't know if I should say it, a former Black Panther, or because maybe Black Panther for life is how I see it. But Judy is, I use so many of your pieces and I'll be using them in my classroom because one of the reasons I actually was the editor for Black Fire this time, because I wanted to see this type of work in the classroom. And and you all are geniuses as far as I'm concerned, each one of you. Now, Judy was at SF State in the 1960s. She joined fellow student protesters to revolutionize American higher education and create the nation's first Black Studies department. Her semi-autobiographical debut novel, Virgin Soul, features a young woman in the 1960s who joins the Black Panther parties. It's really a must read. I'd like you all to give a very warm welcome to Judy Juanita.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Kim. Dr. McMillan. I so appreciate you. And I have to say, I really appreciate our young scholars who, put in that heavy work to get their graduate degrees and their undergraduate degrees in Black studies and African studies, and they're really carrying the banner on, and Kim is leading the way. So thank you very much for that. You know, you're helping bolster and leave the legacy. Okay, I'm just going to read a couple of things from the book, the latest book, Manhattan My Ass. You're in Oakland, and I carefully selected. Okay, Mama love you, yepper do. Mama love you, yepper do. Big old baby boy, love to slap her red bag of mad against your suede, soft baby buttock. Mama love you, never likes to swim the sea of tears. Find that ragged lobster claw, snap, crack shell of hate that swacks your baby booty, end to end your baby smile to sad. Mama love you, little poopy, even pooping in your pants and play until your poops hang low as fishies in a net. Mama love you, all the whacking, slapping, hitting, spitting in your sleep. Mama with her daddy hands, her daddy strength, her daddy might makes right. Mama love you, even when you sang a sweetie Petey kicked and whipped for stealing gum. In tubs, you sang and whistled like a chirp in water hot to etch your whipping twice into your nerve. Mama love you, yepper do, watching for your footsteps through the door, fishing in yem smoke-soaked red-rimmed eyes. Whoa, you smile, those eyes at what they saw, big old baby boy, taking all the touch and tough inside those brown big eyes. Mama love you, yepper do, more for all the less. The switch, the swack, the slap cheek shriek, the speedy harsh caress. Mama love you, yepper do, how were you to know? Mama love you, yepper do, love you, yepper do. And there's bling. Somebody jumped off slave ships for this. Somebody mailed himself in a box from slavery to freedom for this. Somebody else ran like heck from the patty rollers for it. And somebody stood up to the Ku Klux for it. Somebody rioted for it. Somebody sang their heart out for it. Somebody blew somebody's socks off for it. Somebody blew their own brains out for it. Somebody died for this bling bling. Even as Julian Bond wrote, look at that girl shake her thing. We all can't be Martin Luther King. Somebody fought just and unjust war for your bling bling. Somebody died on Parchment Farm at the whipping boss's hand for it. Somebody became Baraka, Intozaki, Mathubuti, Sekou Touré, so you could be P, Snoop, Biggie, Lil Jon, Lil Kim, Lil Slim, Jeezy, Uncle Cracker. Somebody else with perfectly Anglo-Saxon names, Fred Hampton and Mark Clark, died shot to death at 4 a.m. for this thing. Somebody upheld our long tradition of thought. Dudley Randall wrote about the melting pot. Shove your old pot. You can like it or not, I'll be just what I am. Somebody died not to be called boy. Their noble deaths allow you to be big boy. Somebody bled to learn the alphabet A to Z, giving you license with all 26 letters and the apostrophe. Somebody dreamed not this dream, but a way out of nightmare. And you wake in the middle of it, bling, thinking it's free and clear, but things aren't always what they appear. Somebody died a ludicrous death for ludicrous to appear. A son of Emmett and Ishmael, recklessly eyeballing everyone under the sun. Somebody learned the dictionary from aardvark to the N for your bling. Somebody's black bosoms suckled whomever they had to for your bling bling. Somebody played maid, butler, dummy, mammy, convict, slave, so you could be Marilyn Monroe in blackface, so you could bring Hollywood to the hood. Bling, bling, bling. Somebody gave one insignificant, unsung, whole, wondrous life for it. Thanks.
Thank you. That was powerful because it just reminds you that we're here because of others. That Black Fire this time could not have happened if Black Fire had not have happened, or the new Negro. There's so much that we have just thank our stars for. When I hear the stories that, and some of them are in the book, of what people had to go through, Nikki Giovanni writes about in one of her poems, the Pullman Porters, how they had to actually throw the Chicago Defender, the let you know what's happening with regard to lynching, let you know what's happening with regard to other communities. And they went through the South and they threw these newspapers out so we could know. And so we are just standing, we're standing on the sky, of others. So thank you so much for that. I want to bring in my co-host, Lucinda Clark. Lucinda, are you here? Lucinda?
I am here. Yes. Hello. Yes, monitoring the chat and just being blown away. Oh my gosh, I've got to read my notes because I couldn't put them in the chat. But first, I want to introduce Doris Davenport. Doris is part of the Georgia Poetry Society, and she got through the maze, and she is here. Welcome, Doris. I wanted to ask you, did you have something that you wanted to share? I know we shared earlier this morning at the quarterly meeting. Do you have anything you want to share before I do my notes and we get into discussion?
Oh, wow. Thank you, Lucinda. Thank you, everybody. I have to tell you that I'm very grateful for this event, although it is my 4th today. So I'm very, very, very full. Do you remember we used to get drunk like Ripple and stuff like that? You reach a point where you're feeling real good. And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna lay down now. Okay, I'm gonna just lay down. You ain't quite pissy drunk, but you will be in a minute. I feel like I'm just drunk off poetry. And Judy Juanita, oh, are your poems in that book?
We're gonna get to the book, Doris.
Okay, because you know how I am. I'm like, where's the book? Where's the book? Where's the book?
Yes,
So
yes.
anyway, I'm very glad to be here. I have a silly poem I'd like to share with you just for the fun of it, okay? So I'll share that with you. Very deliberately silly. And as I open it up again, I will just wish you all happy National Poetry Month. Happy 420 day and month and week, if you know what that is. And of course, happy Earth Week. I like to write poetry to just enjoy it. So this is an ongoing random interview with and from the universe. And everything I do lately is dedicated to saving and healing energy for Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner, her name, say her name. First, the interview asks a question, and I answer, yes. I would like to see an African werewolf shapeshifter and have it speak to me and then go on about its business. But thank you for that question. Now, question for you. Do you have a to-do list? Does the universe have a version of sticky notes, sound activated apps? Like this, remember, move those stars around on Saturday, mix up some spectacular stardust, keep those 5 moons moving around that star called Earth, but allow just one to be seen because human life forms are limited, fragile. They would freak out if they knew they could have 2 or more moons. Okay, does the universe ever have a time out? Aldon, does it have a vacation? Is it misgendered or ungendered? Do it dream? Thank you.
Thank you, Doris. Thank you. Because I know, like you said, we've been reading since what, 9:30?
Non-stop.
This
Thank
morning.
you. Thank you for letting me share a little silliness.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Kim, because I know that we had talked about the transitioning. When we first put this together as the Poetry Matters project, we were going to feature Quincy Troop, only one of the authors who are part of this anthology. And Quincy had a conflict, and I have a poem that's going to address this, but Kim, as usual, we made the call. You made the calls, and we are here, and we are actually paying tribute to all of the as many more poets from Black Fire this time. I had a chance to do a session with Heather, the publisher, and as I listened to you all read today, I actually feel kind of choked up, and I have a couple of comments that I want to make for each one of your readings. I want to start with Mega, because I'm looking at my screen. Mega won our poetry contest like what, two years ago, and the sister has been on fire ever since. And I am just thrilled to see you here today, and just thank you for coming out. I know that it is just the beginning for you. So when you get where we are, I don't know, you know, you're already have your poems going to the moon. I mean, you didn't mention that. So there's you just got it going on. I'm just happy to see you. The next person, Aldon, Gil. I am of the time of Gil Scott Heron. Thank you, my brother, for sharing that, and all that you do to keep us abreast of what's going on in the poetry world. Tony, excuse me, Professor Bolden. I remember Professor Bolden back in the Dillard days. We actually attended the same university at the same time, and I am just over the moon to see all that you've accomplished, and to hear you read today. I'm just the blessings just continue. Tarita, you mentioned in your poem "Move." I graduated from Tulane University to the day that "Move." Mayor Wilson Good took down "Move." When you mentioned that in your poem, it was so powerful. It actually shook, because I remember when we heard about it after I had crossed the stage, and I was trying to decide whether or not I was going to go back to Philadelphia. The context in which it was referenced, I still get goosebumps. So thank you so much for that. Sister Judy Juanita. Oh my, I'm gonna say OMG. This is what Leah would say if she was on the call. We received a copy of your poem, Lizzo.
Right.
When I read it, I was like, wait a minute, hold on now. Well, is this gonna be, are we gonna read this here? It was so powerful in the reading of it. But then I was like, now, if we have, all we need is one small child here on, listening, and then we would all be, I don't know, Black Fire would probably have a different headline tomorrow. But my sister, what you read in lieu of that, power. Thank you so much. I am I'm just, in all the readings that I've done, everything I've done for Poetry Month, this gathering here is gonna move people. And I'm just so thankful. A couple of things, because Doris has been in the chat going, where's the book? Where's the book? Here's the book. Here's the book, Doris. Here it is. Every poet who has read today is in this book and some. And when you go through it's beautifully written. Kim, you did an excellent job with the editing. And so this is why this collaboration is happening today through the Poetry Matters Project, because I think that the more people we can, the more audiences we can expose to the poets here, the better. And so I had a couple of other questions as I was reading it, but now that I've heard you all read, Kim kept saying, oh, they're awesome, they're awesome. I was just like, I'm just, kind of thunderstruck here. But what we're gonna do, the publisher, Heather, has agreed to give away free copies to individuals who actually follow up after they listen to this presentation and send us their emails. So if you've got someone in mind who'd like to see gifted a copy, have them forward their email, because this is gonna run in the Facebook and I think in the YouTube once we get everything coordinated.
I want to just say that also is 50% off of this anthology with the passcode being or the password being New Orleans in caps, and that's 50% off till April 30th. We want the average person to hear these beautiful poets. I mean, I can't tell you that I am so proud of every single poet in this book. And when I hear people like Ishmael Reed say that this book is beyond what Black Fire or the New Negro, and I think he says that because we really tried to create the idea of Black Fire this time. What would Black Fire look like in a world that we live in? It would really represent the LGBTQ community. It would represent women so strongly. It would represent different viewpoints. And it would also show the voices that are the allies, that they may not be African American, but they are so entrenched in African American culture and the literature that you just want to show those strong voices. And yet it would also have people like Nikki Giovanni and Sonia Sanchez, you know, and Eugene Redmond and Dr. Doris Derby. Would have those people who are right in the trenches. And so, and to have someone like you who is doing so much work to educate the public on poetry is a gift. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, I am a poet sometimes when I'm not a publisher and a promoter. And after listening to you all read, I want to share a poem that I have written that I think it may not have the power that you all have exemplified here, but I want to share what it's meant to me. And it's titled Chances Are. Is it a gift that once given cannot be taken back? Or is it an opportunity? I believe a chance is an opportunity, the goal, a lesson. For a person who gives someone a chance is learning to trust. The receiver is learning humility. Outcome. The giver learns if the gift was accepted as intended. The receiver must show that it was. Why? Chances, like gifts, may come once in a lifetime for both giver and receiver. At the end, as in the beginning, expectations are everything. That is what you all, Kim, that is what you have given to the world, to me, to each other. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. If we have a couple minutes, could you read a couple of lines from Lucinda Lucinda, could you read a couple of lines from Mona Lisa Saloy's poem? We're in New Orleans, supposedly. So we are in New Orleans. This is happening in New Orleans, and Lucinda is the poet laureate for New Orleans. And I
Mona-
was,
Mona's the poet.
yeah. No,
Oh.
see, we never know what's going to happen. I meant Mona Lisa, but who knows? That might be your future. But yes, Mona Lisa is a poet laureate for New Orleans, and she loves this book so much that I just want to honor her and New Orleans and Louisiana and all of you.
Yeah. While I'm pulling it up here, Kim, tell them what we did down there.
Oh my God. I've known Lucinda probably for about 25 years or maybe 30 years. She used to live in the Bay Area. I believe she came here after Katrina to stay a bit. And she invited me to do a Black Arts Movement conference at Dillard University, an incredible HBCU. And so I got everyone together. Aldon was there, and just a wonderful, great group of people. And people came as far away as the Arab Emirates, and just all over the world. They came to hear about the Black Arts Movement. We were very, very lucky. And that was in 2016. Skip Gates, Harvard Hutchins Center put up about $30,000, and we were flying to the moon, talking about and spreading so much joy with regard to Black literature.
Mm-hmm.
Thrilled.
Okay.
Oh, thank you for putting up Aldon. Thank you for putting up Mona Lisa's site. Very, very appreciative of that.
Okay. So do you still want me to just do a few lines here?
Yes, please, so they can see the beauty of her poetry.
Okay, I hope I'm doing you justice here, Mona Lisa. The poem that I've selected, which is here in Blackfire this time, is titled Seventh Ward, Daily Fare or Black Creole Talk. In the Crescent City, we live on the inside of good luck, the right sides of blessings. Past front steps and porches, we're a giving thanks and praying town. Contrary to popular opinion, there's more churches than bats. Annually, we count the storms missing us. Laugh and thank you. Laugh and thank you, Lord, for another safe season. And in the middle of smiles, we see each other and wish you all well. Until we chew the fat on the gallery again. Hey, he looks like Uncle Brother. Now he looks like Jesse Hill. Who that? Mr. Ooh, Poopa do this himself. Aw, they did that dude bad. Buried in Old Holt Cemetery. What? Pottersfield, no lie. Thanks, Capo, Black Creole, for bad luck. Uh-oh, got a step. Need to find a steamy and fit and rest my rump. Chew some peanuts later. Amen.
What I like about you feel with her poetry, you're stepping right there. You're right there with the music, the art, the food, the culture. She brings it all in her poetry. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, does anybody have any closing remarks? Because this is going out to New Orleans, to the people of New Orleans.
I just like to say I'm glad I got Judy in, because she said, oh, I thought it was already over. I was confused about the time. No, girl, get in
I
now.
want to say,
But thank you.
I want to say one thing.
It was beautiful, everything here today. What can I say? It was, and that piece I did do is just one of the many genres, but this is the one Kim said, we want this one because we are so much more than what we've been given credit for. And I have experienced these things that I'm sure some of us have had glimpses of in our lives. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of this.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I want to say one thing about Tarita's poem. Tarita's poem reminds us that there are no limits to who we are and what we're here to do. And actually, all of your poems remind me of that. There's that idea that we're a part of the mystical, the spiritual, the human world. We are so much more than our bodies and who we believe or who we were told we are. That's one of the biggest issues as a person of color. You're continually being told by the public, by the media, this is who you are. And when I hear your voices, it's a reminder, no, we are just like Devorah Major, another poet from this book says, we are the stuff that stars are made of. We are so much more.
Yeah.
And each one of you with your voices showed us that so clearly. Thank you for that gift. Thank you.
Tony, you had your hand up?
I was just gonna make really one small observation. So I remember, Lucinda said I went to Dillard. So I remember being in the city and I would hear sometimes certain people say, I wouldn't give a crippled crab a crutch. And Mona Lisa was the first poet I ever knew. And I knew a bunch of poets, but I actually saw that in her writing. Like she deals with the people. So that's all I was going to say.
Yeah. I was gonna say, anyone else? We're getting close to our time. So are you all gonna do anything else for Poetry Month? Do you have any more readings? Because we need to shout it out and share it. Are you doing anything next week?
Anyone?
Yes. Painting the Streets, which is an Oakland, Bay Area based anthology of many murals throughout the area, in the Bay Area. And it may be across the country, I'm not sure, but it's a large photo in color, hardcover book. And myself, Tongo Eisen Martin, a number of poets are in this, Sonia Sanchez, Umar bin Hassin, a number of people are in that book that's coming out where we're reading next week on the 30th. It's right there at the 30th. So that's happening that I'll be reading there. And there's something else, but I can't think of it right now. And yes, definitely need information on Black Fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Right.
I wanted to say that we're having another Black Fire event, the Daly City Library, and that's May 12th.
Oh yes, that's May.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's May 12th. And we will be having several each month because for me, this is like a mission. Poetry changes people. Poetry opens up our hearts. And so we're going to be opening up hearts and minds with words. So this is such a pleasure. And thank you for inviting us, Lucinda, because this is I'm having so much fun. And I'm in awe of everyone reading. I just feel like, wow, they are so beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. I know, Mega, you have something.
Oh, yeah, I have on April 28th, the coming Thursday, I have a reading from my book, and I have invited like 4 other guest readers, and it's an event which is organized by the Jersey City Poet Laureate, Susan Justiniano, and Dr. Kim is one of the readers, and I have 3 women readers, and The details can be found on my FB post, and I can also share it here as well. And
Yes.
it's an 1-hour event, and they'll be reading excerpts from my full-length collection, My Body Lives Like a Thread by Flower Song Press. So it's an honor for me to have them like share their thoughts about my work.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
Brilliant book, brilliant book.
Thank you.
Alden,
Poetry collection.
Oh,
Yeah. yes, okay. You say submit work. Somebody says, please submit work. What was that?
Langston Hughes tribute.
Oh, Langston Hughes review. Okay, we'll do it. Well, we're gonna go, the Poetry Matters Project, we are year 22. So, I'm tired. But listening to you all today makes this want to go at least one more year. And so we're gonna try and follow you if we don't follow you already, and to shout out your events. But you all continue to have a fabulous National Poetry Month. And whenever we need readers, Kim, thank you. Let's
Just
keep.
dial my number.
Okay, there you go. And I took a snapshot of all of you. We'll take one more. And so we can post and look for it. We'll send the link out, Kim. We'll send the link out once it's up on Facebook and through the Poetry Festival.
Thank you, Lucinda, and thank you for giving us this honor of being a part of the New Orleans Poetry Festival. It's really been just wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Megan and Bill. They are the organizers for the New Orleans Poetry Festival. Thank you for giving us this space. We appreciate all that you do.
mhm. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes, great. Thank you.
Mhm.